It carries genetical information.
All right. Okay. Correct. And then second is what is the characteristic of chromosome? Anything else, Santika? Maybe for about the structure or about the location.
Miss,
Nadif.
strukturnya is it yang are thread-like structure located inside the nucleus of animal and plant cell?
All right, that is a location, yeah, inside of nucleus, and then the shape is characteristic. It has a centromere, and then the number of chromosome per species is fixed. Remember that. And after that, chromosome often occurs in pairs, as you can see in this picture. In pairs, they have two chromatids, and then chromosomes are occupied. Okay, so chromosome is a DNA or the deoxyribonucleic acid molecules with part of all the genetic material inside the chromosome, and most eukaryotic chromosomes include packaging protein which aided by chaperone protein bind to and condense DNA molecule to prevent it from becoming unmanageable tangle. Okay, and for some terminology just like chromatid, nucleosome, histone protein, I think it all fixed, right? So you can just continue to this one. Wait. So guys, don't forget about this. When we talk about chromosome, about organism cell, don't forget about this, that in this world, organisms are divided into two, unicellular and multicellular organism. Unicellular is an organism that only have a single cell, and for example is amoeba, bacteria, paramecium. Yeah, and after that, organism consisting of many cells, just like us, plant and animal. Don't forget about this term because of in some question in paper 2, they oftenly ask you about the term. Don't forget about the term. And after that, about maybe mitosis is occur in what kind of process in cell. And after that, meiosis occur in what kind of process in the cell. May I ask? Let me ask you. Mitosis is occur in what process in a cell? Is it in a somatic cell or in a reproduction cell?
Somatic cells.
All right, correct. And for meiosis?
Reproduction cells.
Okay. So if there is a question about um, wait, let me give you an example. Wait. I tell you a process. Budding in yeast, yeast is an example of mitosis. Budding in yeast is an example of mitosis. So, is it budding in yeast is an example of mitosis? Yeast is a fungi, kind of species from fungi kingdom. You can just remember, you can just answer it by remembering what kind of reproduction cells in fungi. Is it asexual or sexual? If it's sexual, so you can just answer it, but maybe you can just mention it. Oh, that is mitosis. But if it's a sexual reproduction, you can just answer it. Is it mitosis or meiosis? Wait. I'll send to your.
Coba bisa ke Jepang. Yuk ikut
Sorry.
Halo di Jepang bareng
Okay,
Mochi Fresh.
Okay. You can see your chat column, yeah. Budding in yeast. Is it mitosis or budding is kind of a sexual reproduction, so it means mitosis. In bahasa, budding means bertunas ya. Jadi in bahasa, yes atau ragi itu dia doing a sexual reproduction. Karena ya kingdomnya masih fungi. Fungi itu adalah organism yang masih lower kingdom. The structure is still what called in biology. They have a characteristic that quite old, not complex. Okay, let's move. After we talk about chromosome, we talk about histone protein, yeah. All of you already know that histone protein is a kind of protein that embed in the nucleosome. Yeah. Okay, and after that, this is a feather of the chromosome. While mitosis, you can see here, this is the sister chromatids before duplicated, and this is after duplicated. This is the structure of chromosome. They talk about histone protein, how it found in some cells. You can see here that DNA folded the histone protein. And after that, we talk about telomeres. Okay, can you guys just give me some explanation about what is telomeres? One of you maybe, guys?
Telomeres.
Okay.
Itu apa sih? The one that the ends of the chromosomes, yang ujung-ujungnya, right?
Is it a gene or not a gene?
I don't know.
It's a non-coding sequence.
Oh, all right, correct. Thank you, Santika. Thank you, Devinda. Okay, telomere is a terminated code in chromosome, and correct, as Devinda report, is it non-coding or coding? Of course, telomeres is non-coding. So they have a code like this, TTAGGG, and this is non-coding sequence or nucleotide. Okay. Each time DNA of the chromosome is copied or replicated prior to mitosis and cell division, the ends of the DNA molecules cannot be copied. This is the characteristic of telomeres, mostly in the terminal of nucleotide in chromosome. It is part of this non-coding sequence that are lost at each replication of DNA without any harm to the genes the chromosome carries. Don't forget about the keyword, right? If we talk about telomeres, it must be non-coding sequence. It's okay if you don't remember about the code or the sequence, but you need to remember about the definition of telomeres first. What is haploid cell? Haploid cell is a cell that only have one allele, only N. Where is in the human body would you find undergoing meiosis and mitosis, guys? Meiosis is in reproduction cell, remember that? And mitosis is in what? Somatic, all right, or body cell. Aduh, I think you're ready enough to have a unit test. Okay. Next is about chromosomes in nuclear division. Let me close WhatsApp, skip silent. Next, about chromosome in nuclear division. In mitosis, daughter cells, remember this, yeah? Remember the figure 5.4 between mitosis and meiosis. The significant difference, you can see here, the significant difference between mitosis and meiosis. Where is my pen? Okay. Mitosis produce daughter cells that have the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell and two of each type. This is known as diploid chromosome. Diploid chromosome. Two copies of each homologous chromosome. Homologous means same, yeah, so the blue with the blue and the red with the red. Mitosis is the nuclear division that occurs when cell grow or when cell need to be replaced and when organism reproduce sexually, yeah. So if you have an example of some organism that reproduce asexually, just like a yeast, budding in yeast. So in yeast, the cell is doing a mitosis division in the cell. For meiosis, the other cells contain half number of chromosomes of the parent cell, as you can see in the figure. For cell form, each containing only one set of chromosome, and it only haploid, one N only. Meiosis in nuclear division occur when sexual reproduction occur. Typically during the formation of sex cell called gametes. If you search in Google for spermatogenesis, this is kind of example of meiosis, and also in what we call in woman oogenesis. Sorry, I forgot. Whichever division takes place is normally followed by division. Okay. Cytokinesis is the process when divisions of cytoplasm to form and separate cells. When they completely separate, the process is called cytokinesis. Is it clear, guys, so far? Clear? Any question? Devinda, clear?
Yes, Miss, inshallah.
Okay, feel free to unmute your mic, yeah. Next, this is a cell cycle. I think you already know. Two, there are Interface first. Interface is for G1, S, and G2, and followed by mitosis, where there is a promet or PMET. You remember that keyword. In G1, cell grows, producing new organelles. So they make their organelles here in this tab. It takes how long? You can just read on your textbook. It's quite long. And after that, S phase, chromosomes are copied or synthesis of DNA is occurs here. Copying DNA, making some amino acid, and making a genes, it is occur here. And after that, G2 phase, cell growth continues. And as I said before, in their each step, when moved to G1 and S to G2, they have some enzyme that can be checker points, maybe, just like a checker point. Is it ready enough or not? If they're not ready enough, the cell will be make some preparation again, of course. And after that, followed by mitosis, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and ended with cytokinesis to cell form. This is kind of stage of cell cycle, and this is what happened during the cell cycle. We can see here when this is a quantity of DNA. The X graphic is so how long it takes, the length of cell cycle. You can see here when mitosis and cell cycle division occur, the quantity of DNA are increased from the start, right? This is the events of interphase, what happened in G1, S, and G2. Okay. And for the step, for each step, I think you in page, okay. Don't forget about this too, about your virtual laboratory activity in our previous meeting, observing chromosomes during mitosis, when we use root tip in onion. Okay, you still remember of this. And don't forget to make sure that you already get for example, you can see on your textbook. Let us see on our textbook now. Just like in interphase, if you can see, there is a process, there is a characteristic of process, just like in interphase, centrosome consisting of pair of centrioles. Chromosomes are shown here as divided into chromatid, but this division is not immediately visible. And next, for the example, in metaphase, you can see in the schematic picture, there is a nuclear envelope breaks down. And after that, spindle forms. And then chromatids joined by centromere and attached to spindle at equator. Yes?
Miss masih di PDF-nya atau udah ganti ke tempat lain, Miss?
Oh, I said, open your textbook, page 116, and take a look in figure 5.8.
Kayaknya tadi Miss agak ke disconnect gitu Miss, jadinya kepotong.
Oh, sorry guys. Okay, now just open your book, page 116. Take a look in figure 5.8. There is a figure of mitosis in an animal cell. There are two version of picture. First is schematic, and next after is photomicrograph visual, right? Did you already seen, guys? Did you already open your textbook?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Okay, so let's get start from interface. You can see that there are some characteristics that become a diagnostic of each process. Just like in interface, they said nuclear envelope are formed, and then chromosomes are shown here as divided into chromatids, but this division is not immediately visible. That's for interphase. Next, for prophase, for example, centrioles duplicate, nucleolus disappear, chromosomes condense and become visible. This is a characteristic of the process. Next, metaphase, for example. They said nuclear envelope breaks down, spindle forms, chromatids joined by centromere and attached to spindle at equator. To get the maximum point of unit test, I think you need to remember or just make some note for each process and remember it. Because of what? In many questions in paper 1 and also for paper 2, in 3 years, 2018, 2019, and 2020, the question is about which one of the true statement, which one is the true statement of interphase process. The option, they will give you an option between this characteristic. For example, interphase. Is it true in interphase chromatids joins by centromere and attached to spindle equator? For example. No. In interphase, it's still chromosome, not become chromatids. Just like that. I'll show you an example later in our group for what kind of question that I expect you need to answer. Okay. So I think it's important for you to make a notes for each step in mitosis cell division using this figure for preparing your unit test. Okay, let's back again to the PDF. After we talk about, this is a chromosome behavior in mitosis in each phase, in interphase, prophase, prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis. In interphase, diploid cell, still in prophase, chromosome replicates. In prometaphase, they start to move, and when in metaphase, they're already in equator side. In anaphase, the chromatid pulled apart by microtubules. In telophase, it already shown nuclear envelope begins to reform. of course, and cell division begin, and after that cytokinesis is they have cell divides into two. Easy, right? This is what happened during cytokinesis in plant cell. Plant cell after nucleus has divided. So what's being the keyword in the plant cell is Golgi apparatus. We know that in plant, the cell wall is made from cellulose, right? And for this case, Golgi apparatus secretes vesicles, secretes the component that can form cell wall for plant cell. This is what this figure want to explain to you. And after that, let's talk about cancer. In what we have discussed before, in normal case, cell just make its own division in normal form too. But in kind of process, the cell division is not always well. Sometimes it become uncontrolled by some reactant, by some case, something like that. And it's called cancer. So cancer is an example for a disease of uncontrolled cell division. Okay. Cancer are initiated when cells start to divide repeatedly by mitosis without control or regulation. And for an irregular mass of cell is formed, it's called tumor. First step is only hyperplasia, just like some kista or in bahasa, and after that, they develop to become a tumor. And when they already invade normal tissues and enter blood limbs and maybe getting toxic with some organ infection, it becomes metastasis. So we can call it cancer. And cancer is also have some step called stadium 1, stadium 2, stadium 3, and stadium 4. It represents the destruction form of its cells. In bahasa, we can know that kalau misalkan sudah di stadium 4, itu biasanya organ yang sudah dirusak itu sudah lebih dari 1-2 organ. Seperti itu. Dan kalau sudah stadium 4, itu akan lebih potensial untuk mengalami kematian sel dibandingkan untuk bisa disembuhkan. Seperti itu. Tapi out there, many of cancer survival bisa sembuh from this disease. And what makes cell become a cancer? We know the substance that make and become some catalyst maybe for cancer called carcinogen. Common carcinogen known to increase mutation rate and the likelihood of cancer. So this is kind of carcinogen that mostly caused cancer. First is ionizing radiation. So radiation can just become a source of carcinogen. And after that, non-ionizing radiation, just like UV light. So and next is chemical. Chemical is just like some chemical substance. It can become just make your maybe some active chemical can make your pleural membranes in your lungs produce rapidly, or just can make your nose become can apa ya? In bahasa you can say kayak misalkan langsung bisa membuat kayak kematian otak seperti dalam waktu dekat seperti cyanida misalkan seperti itu ya. And several chemical that are carcinogen just like tobacco smoke. They have for tobacco smoke it have a long effect for the chemical. Non-ionizing ini in bahasa misalkan for example UV light. Nowadays, kita kan tahu ya kalau misalkan sekarang itu lagi ada coronavirus dan lagi gencar-gencarnya diciptakan alat yang namanya UV sterilizer kan. Nah, UV sterilizer itu yang harus diketahui tidak baik ketika ruangannya dihidupkan UV sterilizer tapi kitanya ada di dalam sana. Jadi ketika misalkan kalian beli UV sterilizer, maka kalian tidak boleh berada di dalam sana ketika ruangan tersebut sedang disterilkan. Karena sifat dari UV light ini seperti yang kita tahu juga kan ke kulit itu kurang baik. Nah, dan ini bisa menyebabkan beberapa nukleotida yang ada di dalam sel kita DNA kita itu memproduksi jadi lebih banyak uncontrolled cell division. So if you have a UV light in your room, in your house, be careful to use UV light sterilizer, right? And next is ionizing radiation. Radiation is include X-rays. So if you have some disease or some if you're sick and you need to, dokter akan tanya dulu sama kita kayak, kamu pernah belum di X-ray di 3 bulan terakhir? Nah, kenapa? Karena once kita X-ray itu akan ada beberapa cells yang dianya bisa mati juga, dia akan bisa connect si aksonnya itu ada yang putus beberapa neuronnya. Nah, sehingga untuk recovery itu diasumsikan butuh waktunya 3 bulan or just like 100 days. And after that, baru kita bisa melakukan lagi X-rays or radiation. Radiation ini butuh juga untuk tubuh kita kan, seperti untuk membunuh dan lain-lain sebagainya. Tapi kalau dilakukan terlalu sering, maka ini akan juga men-trigger formation of damaging ion inside of body. Something like that. Okay, is it any questions so far, guys? Any question? No? Belum? Aman?
Aman, Miss, insya Allah.
Mantap. Mantap ya. Oke. Jadi itulah kenapa ya di dunia ini ya Allah ciptakan sesuatu itu ada manfaat, tapi dalam amount tertentu itu akan menjadi kurang baik untuk tubuh kita. Nah, tugas kita manusia adalah sebagai pembelajar gitu ya, sebagai kayak kita sekarang kalian ibaratnya sekarang di biologi Miss antarkan dengan pengetahuan begini loh guys, kalian tahu nih kalau misalkan ionizing radiation itu bisa jadi karsinogen, bisa memicu cancer, terus jadi kalian itu begini, tahu teorinya. Nah, nanti kalau misalkan kalian kepantik nih itunya pikirannya kayak kenapa ya gitu, terus tertarik, oh karena saya suka kimia, misalkan saya akan mengkaji kenapa sih sebenarnya radiation itu bisa ujung-ujung menjadi karsinogen gitu. Bisa dicari tahu. Nah, itulah tugas kita sebagai khalifah di muka bumi ini untuk mencari tahu jalan pemecahannya. Seberapa efektif ke radiation itu, seberapa baikkah dia untuk kita, seberapa lama dia baik untuk kita, dan saat kapan dia tidak baik untuk kita. Nah, itu adalah tugas dari kita sebagai hamba gitu ya, menuntut ilmu dan mencari tahu apa-apa yang sejatinya sudah ada, tapi kita belum tahu amount-nya, dosisnya kira-kira sejauh apa dan sebesar apa bisa dipakai seperti itu. Kalau ionizing tadi UV itu ada manfaatnya juga loh gitu ya. Tapi untuk ke kulit kita kalau langsung gitu ya, kalau langsung malahan akan menjadi kurang baik gitu. Seperti kalau misalkan dari sun, dari matahari itu bisa guys, bisa apa namanya, memicu kanker kulit gitu ya kalau terpapar langsung. Tapi untuk teknologi yang sekarang ternyata sinar UV itu atau UV light itu bisa digunakan untuk membunuh radikal-radikal bebas termasuk ke virus gitu ya katanya, yang sekarang tuh lagi booming-boomingnya banget. Ada UV light technology yang sampai menyediakan disinfektannya tuh udah nggak pakai semprot-semprot lagi, jadi pakai UV light dihidupkan gitu kan, terus dia jadi steril udah tuh ruangan seperti itu. Jadi kalau misalkan sekarang tuh cara kerjanya itu biasanya UV light-nya dihidupin kalau untuk ruangan besar mungkin 1 jam, begitu kita nggak boleh ada di ruangan itu, nanti baru kita bisa masuk lagi dan lain sebagainya. And next, chemical. Inilah fungsinya juga kita belajar chemistry. Jadi kalau misalkan memang kalian merasa misalkan kayak saya kurang suka chemistry, cukup aja pelajari misalkan itu ya, sesuatu yang bisa kalian jadikan manfaat untuk kehidupan. Misalkan kayak mempelajari mana nih zat-zat yang mungkin misalkan nanti belajar sama Miss Via ke lab, nanti Miss Via akan bilang, guys itu harmful, gitu misalkan gitu. Guys itu bisa exploded, guys itu bisa nanti kena gini, guys itu nggak boleh dicium langsung, harus ada metodenya tertentu kan, harus dikipas-kipas dulu seperti itu. Nah, karena kenapa ketika misalkan terpapar di kita, mungkin beberapa sel kita akan terganggu. Oke, yuk, sekali 2 kali. Tapi kalau kita selalu menggampangkan dan tidak mengikuti aturan, maka itu akan menjadikan malapetaka ya bagi diri kita sendiri. Begitu pula karsinogen sebagai katanya yang ada di tobacco smoke. Nah, jadi di tobacco smoke atau di rokok itu ada zat yang namanya tar. Tar itu tuh adalah karsinogen kalau dia dibakar seperti itu. Nah, ini nanti akan kita bahas lebih lanjut sebenarnya di chapter 9 di gaseous exchange and smoking. Nanti di situ Miss akan jelaskan bagaimana rokok itu kenapa berbahaya sebenarnya. Ada nggak sih rokok itu manfaatnya seperti itu ya. Oke. I think that's all for chapter 5. Yeah, I think that's all for chapter 5. You also kalian juga sudah menjawab enough topic question kemarin yang Miss rasa sudah sudah menyakup semua yang Miss jelaskan. Ya, gitu. Ada pertanyaan sebelum Miss move untuk kita bicara teknis ujian? Ada pertanyaan kah? Miss belum lihat kalender deh. Ntar ya Miss lihat kalender pendidikan dulu. Kalau ada pertanyaan silakan ya disiapkan Miss. Bentar Miss mute bentar. Miss mau lihat kalender pendidikan. Guys, don't forget to click your presence ya. Tadi ada 2 siswa yang izin hari ini.
Kemarin sih dengar tanggal 7 tapi belum tahu juga.
Iya, tanggal wait, Miss baca dulu ini agak bingung, Miss. Ujian. Iya betul guys. Berarti kita akan masih sempat ya gitu ya. Berarti kita kan tanggal berapa? Tanggal 2 ya? Tanggal 2. Dan setelah itu kalau masih ada pertemuan, kita akan persiapan untuk ujian akhir semester. Nah, untuk ujian akhir semesternya, materinya apa udah tahu? Udah tahu kah? Kalau misalkan ujian semester, biasanya Miss pakai materi yang ini guys, yang sudah sudah bidding di semester baru. Jadi nggak dari awal ke semester kemarin yang baru kalian masuk sampai sekarang. Biasanya sih seperti itu sih. Bentar. Berarti untuk materi semester ini kita akan mulai dari 45 berarti ya. Cell membrane and transport and cell cycle and mitotic. Ya, benar. Ya kan, bener nggak? Yang new semester itu 2 chapter kan yang baru kita yang sudah kita kita kerjakan, bener nggak?
Iya, Miss.
Oke, berarti 2 chapter saja. Insya Allah kalian bisa kok, insya Allah bisa. Kalau misalkan sudah dari sekarang, pasti bisa melewati fasenya gitu ya. Nah, untuk unit test nanti, itu akan terdiri dari 20 soal multiple choice dan 5 nomor untuk structure question. Jadi itu gampang. Untuk pelaksanaannya di tanggal 2 nanti kita akan gelar melalui Zoom ya. Terus semuanya harus bisa dipastikan untuk on cam. Untuk on cam karena itu untuk evidence ke Cambridge-nya juga untuk nanti unit test. Dan menggunakan seragam ya, kalau misalkan ada rambutnya yang masih panjang, misalkan nanti harus di kamera yang harus dilihatkan, ini Miss remind aja, sebenarnya kan setiap ada momen apa pasti udah di remind ya, untuk misalkan dirapikan gitu ya, dan jangan lupa menggunakan uniform ya, terus pastikan yang tadi kameranya semuanya hidup, karena untuk evidence, dan ya itu sih kurang lebih. Ada yang mau tanyain lagi untuk unit test? Untuk lu, kalau misalkan memang yang boleh Miss belum bisa kasih deh untuk soal. Sebenarnya Miss akan ambil soal 3 tahun terakhir. Jadi berarti 2020, kalau sekarang 2021, 2020, 19, 18. Berarti yang terakhir adalah 2018. Nah, kalau misalkan memang kalian mau latihan dengan soal-soal di 3 tahun terakhir itu boleh. Nah, tapi kemarin Miss diinstruksikan dari Cambridge-nya untuk mencari soal atau paper yang nearest gitu, kayak sama apa yang sudah Miss jelaskan. Maksudnya gini, jangan sampai Miss menjelaskan tentang yang tadi sudah kita review, tapi nanti ketika ujian Miss ngasih soal malahan yang tidak pernah Miss jelaskan, seperti itu kan. Jadi disarankan untuk hanya menyajikan soal yang sudah pernah dijelaskan. Nah, kalau seperti itu nanti mungkin Miss menjelang ini sekarang tanggal 27 ya. Insya Allah nanti sambil ngawas kakak kelas 12 yang sekarang lagi ujian guys, mohon doanya ya, semoga dilancarkan. Mereka lagi final exam program dan semoga dilancarkan ya. Yang ngambil biologi itu ada kurang lebih 9 orang yang lagi bidding untuk final exam nanti. Nah, nanti pas lagi ngawas, insya Allah Miss akan pilih-pilih mulai mana soalnya. Terus nanti kalau misalkan memang nanti akan Miss kasih papernya ke kalian untuk latihan gitu ya. Seperti itu. Clear guys? Oh, untuk pengerjaan boleh kalian kalau misalkan memang ada pentep boleh langsung kerjain di PDF-nya. Boleh juga kalau yang tidak ada ya terserah sih ya, bebas kayak kemarin-kemarin aja sih, bebas. Ataukah kalau misalkan mau pakai kertas juga boleh, tapi pastikan yang bergaris ya. Terus nanti pengumpulannya lewat GCR. Gitu deh. Be ready ya. Selamat.
Yes, Miss.
Oke, thank you. Nada, thank you guys semuanya yang sudah hadir pada pertemuan kali ini. Semoga informasi dan review kali ini bisa menggerakkan lagi semangat kalian untuk mau buka-buka lagi tentang cell mitosis and cell cycle. Miss, mohon maaf untuk kekurangannya. Jika ada pertanyaan silahkan. Kemarin juga beberapa udah ada yang mungkin latihan, sudah menjawab Miss kayak Miss soalnya gimana, Miss soalnya gimana. Meskipun mungkin Miss agak slow respon. Sorry guys, karena kemarin libur jadi Miss agak slow respon. Tapi Miss open kok kalau misalkan kalian mau diskusi ataupun nanya dan lain sebagainya. Oke, kalau tidak ada pertanyaan, Miss akhiri. Thank you guys for your presence today. Thank you for your attention. Miss akhiri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next meeting.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yes, Miss.
Bye guys.
Miss. Oh, thank you, Miss.